What's going on, everyone? Matt Savoca here from Awesemo.com, filling in for my buddy Josh Engleman, and we are bringing you the Week 10 DraftKings Sunday Night Football Showdown slate, Chiefs versus Raiders, top 10 picks. This should be an excellent matchup. Two AFC West teams that absolutely need a win. But before we get into things, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell below so that you know when this channel is always going live. You guys know what to do. And if you could give me, Matt Savoca, a follow on Twitter at Draftaholic, that'd be also much appreciated. And finally, we want to thank our presenting sponsor, No House Advantage. No House Advantage is bringing you a different way to enjoy DFS by offering player prop contests across the NBA, MLB, NFL, and PGA for cash prizes. NHA is 100% peer-to-peer to help level the playing field, which makes it easier for you to win compared with the traditional DFS sites. No House Advantage offers over 500 player props, making it the largest provider of player props in the industry. And the best part is that all new users will get a $25 deposit bonus when they use promo code Awesemo. NHA has mass entry capability and big prize pools just like the other DFS sites that you're accustomed to, so you can beat your friends, not the house. Download No House Advantage in the App Store today and win big with the player props today. All right, here you see on the screen my 10 through 6 of my top 10 list. Let's break it down really quickly here. At number 10, we have kicker Daniel Carlson. And then number 9 is really surprising here, Josh Jacobs. I think even more surprising than Jacobs is Travis Kelce all the way down at number 8. That speaks to the way the Chiefs have been playing offensively lately. Number 7, Zay Jones. And then number 6, Darrell Williams, the starting running back for the Chiefs. Who then makes it into my top 5 list for this week? Let's watch and find out. At number 5, it's the slot wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders, Hunter Renfrow, who has really seen his opportunities consistently rise over the last few weeks. 8 targets in week 7 before the bye, 9 targets, and that's with Darren Waller back last week in week 9. He's caught 7 passes in each game. Now, the range of outcomes is a little bit lower for Renfrow. The routes he runs primarily out of the slot. He doesn't have a huge amount of upside with the types of targets he typically gets. But in a one-game slate where anyone can catch 2 touchdowns, especially one that's getting 9 targets in a game, Renfrow is looking very good at a fairly modest $8,400 in salary, 15.6 median projection, especially on a whole PPR platform like DraftKings, is nothing to scoff at. But as you can see, he gets greater than 30 points in just 5.6% of our simulations. I think he makes a much better flex play than a captain play. You can play him there in large field tournaments, but I really like Hunter Renfrow coming in at number 5. At number 4, Darren Waller. And yeah, honestly, compared to Renfrow, who we just talked about a moment ago, I like Waller a whole lot better, but I bet the rest of the field is also going to like Waller a whole lot better. But at that just modest salary bump compared to Renfrow, the ceiling is significantly higher for Waller. And the great thing is we saw him much healthier in week 9. 11 targets was the most opportunity he's seen since that week 1 19 target explosion game. He had some down weeks in the target categories, at least by his standards. The maximum prior to week 9 was 8 targets. And now we're looking at a totally different player. He's healthier, he has that target ceiling, and as you can see, he's getting to more than 30 DraftKings points in 19.8% of our simulations. So even though the median projection is just a little bit better than Renfrow, I think the range of outcomes shows that his ceiling is significantly better, especially in large field tournaments. I love Waller as a captain play this week. Number 3, Derek Carr. Derek Carr is an excellent cash game and small field option, and really you can play him in the flex at any time with any kind of lineup construction. I'm not sure I love his chances of being the optimal captain this week. I do see him popping in 8.5% as that optimal captain, but just looking at the salary and seeing that the probability of getting over 30 fantasy points and being the optimal captain is pretty similar to players who have lower salaries, I might be under the field with Carr as an optimal captain. But I still like him in this game, especially because he's been playing fairly well this year. He actually ranks 10th in the NFL in adjusted yards per attempt, and he's done that on the 6th most pass attempts. he's turned that into the third most passing yards in the NFL. I don't think a lot of people realize that he's QB3 in that category. Still, I don't love it compared to some of the players in the salary range here. The median projection of 20.7, that's great for a quarterback, but I think we can do better. That's why he's number 3 on the list. At number 2, it's Tyreek Hill, and no surprise to see him popping towards the top of this list here, especially because we know what the ceiling is for Tyreek Hill. He's already had a 40-point game this year, and yes, the Kansas City Chiefs offense has been a mess. Look at that PFF grade. They are the 15th ranked offense in the NFL. If you told me at the beginning of the year the Chiefs offense would be league average, I would say, well, probably everyone's hurt. That's not the case. They are just underperforming. And then look at the Raiders on the other side. An impressive 5th ranking in PFF's defensive grade. And yet, I'm still interested in Hill, who has averaged 12.5 targets per game since week 5. He had 18 targets a few weeks ago, and he's leading the NFL in air yards. He's top 3 in target share and top 5 in targets per route run. This is one of those players that I love to bet on in one-game slates because there's no one who can touch his ceiling. If Hill gets to his ceiling and you didn't have him in that captain spot, there's no way you're cashing in scenarios where that happens. So I love to be over the field on Hill, especially when you say the salary isn't that much different than a player like Carr or anything like that, and you see him popping as an optimal captain more often than the quarterback Carr. I absolutely love Hill at number 2 this week. And before I reveal my number 1 play on DraftKings for this Sunday Night Football matchup, I just want to remind you all to please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you know when this channel is always going live. And it'd be much appreciated if you could follow me on Twitter. I'm Matt Savoca at Draftaholic. That's where you can find me over there. And again, we'd like to thank our presenting sponsor, No House Advantage. And at number 1, it's Patrick Mahomes. He's still popping as the highest median projection in the optimal captain spot 9.3% of the time. And look at that ceiling probability of over 40% of the time. He still gets over 30 fantasy points. That shows us in the simulations, at least, they believe that Mahomes and this Kansas City offense can get back to an elite ceiling that we've seen before even this year. But it hasn't happened in the last few weeks, I'll tell you that. His 4.5 yards per attempt against Green Bay, that's not going to do it. In fact, he hasn't hit 6.0 in yards per attempt since week 6 against Tennessee. There are some problems with this offensive line. There are some problems with this team in general. But still, the underlying metrics, some of the advanced metrics say that they could turn it around. In series success rate that looks at a team's ability to turn a first down into another first down or a touchdown, they're still among the top teams in the league. But Mahomes' efficiency has been a problem. 21st in adjusted yards per attempt, that is bizarre for a player as good as Mahomes, but that is why we see them ranked 15th as a team in PFF's offensive grade. Still with all that said, if Mahomes and the Chiefs get to their ceiling, they will be untouchable. They still have a ceiling score unlike any other team. So Mahomes still comes in at number 1 on the list. All right, that's going to do it for this Week 10 DraftKings edition of the Sunday Night Football Contenders video, Chiefs versus Raiders. If you're looking for the FanDuel version of this video, it's definitely around here on this YouTube channel. And while you're at it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and follow me on Twitter at Draftaholic. We will be back with our picks for next week's game. Until then, I'm Matt Savoca. We will see you all later.